Welcome back. A major milestone in the country's space science journey takes place this Wednesday with the commissioning and launch of the NUST satellite data receiving ground station. The initiative by the Namibia University of Science and Technology is set to strengthen environmental monitoring, agriculture, climate resilience and disaster risk reduction through the use of satellite data. We're joined this evening by Dr. Smita Francis, Senior Lecturer and Coordinator of the Namibia Institute of Space Technology, to unpack what this landmark investment means for research and development. Dr. Smita, good evening and thank you so much for being here.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
Well, this is really exciting news. For viewers watching this evening, what exactly is a satellite ground station and why is it such a significant milestone for Namibia?
We are also very excited to inaugurate and launch it and commission it.
Yeah.
So in brief, when we talk about the satellite ground station, it is a whole set of facility and equipment that is on the ground. And in fact, it will communicate with the satellite when the satellite passes over Namibia. So when it is transiting over Namibia, then we are in a position to download data. And using that data, then we can help all Namibians. Yeah.
Just unpack for us, why should Namibia be investing in space science and satellite technology at this point in our development journey?
If you look at the continent itself, the space industry itself is booming. It's in billions. In 2024, they said that the space industry is almost like 24 billion. And this interest has come in because it has varied applications, right? Not education, innovation, technology development, right? Then you have got all the applications that are there of satellite technology. They feed directly into SDGs, environmental monitoring, farming, agriculture, water management, disaster risk management. So it's essential for us to make informed decisions. When you want to make informed decisions, you need to have some reliable data. And for that reliable data, this is where we are now. With the launch of this station, we will have live data. We are going to train people to use the data. And that is excellent for us.
Somebody at home watching might think, how does a satellite ground station directly affect or enhance or work together with a sector such as agriculture or environmental monitoring? So help us understand that and give us some practical examples of how this happens.
Okay. So when the satellite is passing over Namibia, it has some sensors on it, depending on what function you want to select. So if you want to monitor the agriculture, you want to monitor the vegetation health. So that sensor will pick up the vegetation that is there and it will give you data in live, what I can say, live data.
Yes.
So that the farmer can see, oh, okay, if the farm is very huge, sometimes you cannot travel throughout. Or even if you're traveling, suddenly you find that there is a locust infestation. Maybe it's coming from Angola, but we have to be prepared. Where does this preparedness come from? It comes from satellite information. If you have flash floods coming in, we have to be prepared for it. And when the floods come, we run to, save animals and human beings. But if we are aware that this is how the weather pattern is coming in, how the rain showers are flowing, and we can be prepared. And we can prepare our citizens and our animals. We can take them to safety. So that is why it's very important.
I mentioned earlier that this project was, realized through a collaboration of NUST government and also international partners. Talk to us about how important these collaborative efforts are.
In space, no one can work alone. Space itself is an industry where you have to collaborate. Now, to give you an example, if you look at the International Space Station, there are Russian astronauts, American astronauts there, cosmonauts there, the Japanese there. So we are all collaborating. So here, when we want to look at what we want to develop in Namibia, we have the full government backing. But we also look to the industries that are willing to help us. So with that sort of collaboration is what we are putting this up. We don't want to invent a wheel when it is already there. So we tap into the expertise, the knowledge that is there, the technology that is booming, and then we are developing this.
Tell me, Dr. Smita, will this data collected through the satellite ground station be made available to the general public, or how will it be dispersed? Because I can imagine somebody who's in the agricultural sector who is not able to do and collect data like this for themselves. This would be really helpful. So then how do they access it? As you mentioned, it's real-time data, so it's up to date and it's fresh and relevant data. Yes.
So to access the data, what we're going to do is we're going to create a portal where the data will be saved. But to access the data, it won't be open, you have to register to accept, and you have to explain how and why you're going to use it. And then the data is for you. But to use the data, you need to know how to analyze the data. To analyze the data, we're going to have training sessions. Last year, I had one session where I had invited directorates, the regional directorates from all the northern parts of region. Even our city of Windhoek attended, and NUST staff members were also there. And then we were able to identify regions where flash floods have occurred, where regions which are susceptible to flash floods,
And a high probability of it now occurring again. Right.
So this is what is very important.
How does this ground station then contribute to human capital development and also then skills training?
Okay. So if you look at the policies that are in place, we look at, say, NDP 6, we look at the space technology policy that has been launched, and we look at the NUST vision, knowledge creation, innovation, entrepreneurship. So with this ground station, we are trying to innovate and create knowledge. By creating knowledge, we are developing skills. By developing skills, now the students or the citizens that come and be trained at this space satellite station, they will be able to set up their own small, can I say, SME, where they can guide, let's say, in Ohangwena. So I work a lot with Ohangwena region. So in Ohangwena, if someone from the directorate comes and says, okay, train my personnel here. So that person will have that capacity developed in him to look at the vegetation, to forecast a rain, how this year, what will be the rainfall like. Also to environmental monitoring, also to look at the water management, what can we do with this data. So there's lots of possibilities, and what I would really say is that each and every region must have some researcher like this who can take this data and help the region itself. So we all can have a good informed decision-making capability.
Yes, 100%. I also understand that NUST plans to introduce a master's program in satellite system design and satellite communication. How will this enhance, postgraduate education and research?
So with these two master's programs, what's going to happen is this can lead to students being interested in research. Not only that, in Namibia, till now, we were classified as non-space faring nation. But we have just moved from non-space to emerging a space nation, right? So because of that, there are also several space projects coming to Namibia. And because we did not have that capability and capacity, and so we were having engineers come from outside, do the work for us. But if we start with this master's program, our own Namibians will be able to help these international projects, for example, like SK, Square Kilometer Array project. If it comes in, our engineers will be there to help, install, design, put things together, test if it is working or not. There's another project coming up, the Africa Millimeter Telescope project. So there are many projects coming up. And then if we will have capacity.
Well, just finally talk to us about, of course, when the launch is happening, and then just your message, that you'd like to share with young Namibians who may be interested in careers in science, engineering, or even space technology.
So the launch is happening tomorrow at the mining engineering building. And on top of the mining engineering building, on the terrace, we have our radio control room next to the terrace. And because the antennas must have direct view of the satellite, so on top of the terrace, we have our antennas. So this is what is happening tomorrow. To the young Namibians, I would say that sky is not the limit. Earlier, we even had the expression maybe when we were studying, leave it, it's not rocket science. But everything is approachable, and you can work hands-on with it, and you're welcome to join us.
Fantastic. Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here this evening and sharing this exciting news with us. It's lovely having you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, that was